the process of change is itself a label. The process itself of change of your body isn't happening in any other way than just conceptually either. Yeah. But you know, that's kind of like a question about the relationship of the parts of the pen and the pen. The pen is a projection on the basis of its parts, but the parts are also projections based on their parts and so forth. The body the fact that we are getting older is a projection on the basis of a body that's getting older. Body and mind, you say, that are getting older. But the body and mind are also that are getting older. That process of a body getting older is also a projection. So on the basis of a projection of a body getting older, I say, I am getting older. Something like that, right? Yep. Yeah, but there's no body that's getting older. Which is really great. That's really good. No, you know, this is very important. Okay, well, it's a good way to finish, actually. Because, you know, one of the things one of my pet peeves these days is the watering down of Buddhism in the West nowadays. And this is one of the things, this is one of the big blockages. This is one of the big things that, you know, people, modern proponents, Western proponents of Buddhism have run into a big wall when it comes to death and beating death. See? The Buddha said life is suffering, didn't he? Let's check, see if we're Buddhists here, okay? Buddha said life is suffering, right? Every Buddhist school agrees that was what the Buddha said. And then the Buddha said also, and every school agrees, suffering is birth, old age, sickness, and then the Buddha also said, you have four Arya truths, right? Then the Buddha also said, there is an end to suffering. Which would, right? Did he say that or not? Yes. The Buddha, a Buddha said that. There is an end to suffering, and he also said there's a means to the end of suffering. Those are four Arya truths. So if suffering is defined as what? Birth, old age, sickness, and death, the end of suffering means the end of death. And old age, and so, yeah, all those other ones too. But, yeah, okay, but death was that was the one I was trying to get to. Yeah, that was a main one. Yeah? Now why? How is that possible? How is it possible to end death? You see? Our bodies that are getting older and dying are not out there getting older and dying. They are projections of bodies getting older and dying. And therefore, if you change the projection, you would change the body that's getting older and dying. This is emptiness. This is called emptiness in Buddhism. And, we kind of like need to reintroduce that concept to modern Western Buddhists a little bit. You see, the whole idea that overcoming death is just impossible and, kind of superstitious and mythological or something like that is proof of the non-understanding of emptiness. They don't understand the fundamental philosophical principle of Mahayana Buddhism. And if you don't understand emptiness, you don't understand Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism, you don't understand Mahayana Buddhism. So don't call yourself Mahayana Buddhist if you say, well, overcoming death is impossible. Of course death is overcomable, because death is empty, just like anything else. There's nothing that's not empty. It's not like everything's empty except for my body. See? Except for death. Okay? So don't accept any wooden nickels when it comes to the modern purveyors of Buddhism. They may be very, very valuable teachers, okay? But they're not Buddhist teachers. If they're not teaching karma and emptiness, and if they're not teaching the possibility of overcoming suffering entirely, wholly, fully in this lifetime, then they're not teaching Buddha Dharma. It's not Buddha Dharma. That's the gospel of Buddhism. What I just said are the essential components of Buddhism. And if they're not teaching that, it's not Buddhism.